This week was crazy. 5 NFL teams had a game-winning field goal, and you have the Patriots here driving down in Germany. They get the first down, fake spike, and yeah, they're not on this list. What a wow, Patriots. But let's start off in Seattle. This is a 4:30 game where DK Metcalf gets held on a critical fourth down, so this extends the drive for the Seattle Seahawks. Now it's 19-19. They get towards the goal line. Costly face mask brings them right down to the goal line, and they score. This beautiful dart throw by Geno Smith. Now they're up by a touchdown, and you celebrate Seattle. You deserve it, and you're going to win this game unless Sam Howell has some magic in him, and he does. Great throw to Terry McLaurin, and then a few plays later, Brown touchdown Seattle. Now it's a tie game, and Seattle, though, there's about a minute left. Yeah, they drive down. Geno Smith thinks about throwing it. He doesn't throw it. And he has a bunch of checkdowns in this drive, but eventually he finds DK Metcalf. And not only does he find him once here to bring him to midfield, he finds him again to get them across into field goal range. And they had a rush up, they spike it, and then they line up for the game-winning field goal. Seahawks, I don't think they're good, but they keep winning. And I'm sorry, Sam Howell, but we got to move on to the next game, which is the Cardinals versus Atlanta. Heineke's hurt, Desmond Ridder comes in, and they are like, oh, let's just keep on running it. And he fails a QB sneak. Yeah, that wasn't good. But he does throw this dart to Drake London in an effort to come back and just keep on throwing it to Drake London. Even if it does not complete, there's a pass interference, and he runs it in for a touchdown. They're up by 1 point because they couldn't get the 2-point conversion. Then Kyler Murray's like, ACL, schmacl, I'm going to win this game, and we are not going to be the number 1 overall pick. He converts it on this third down, and then a few plays later, he's like, I'll just throw it deep to McBride. He pushes off there, but gets it within the 10, and at this point, they can just wind down the clock. Arthur Smith is like, I can't deal with this. Now, would you try to get it into the end zone or just last-minute field goal? I don't know. Kyler Murray's praying, and prayers are answered. Thanks, Cardinals. Helping my Giants out. And then, Will Hernandez, too. Yeah, it's a big Giants fest. And then moving on to the Chargers-Lions, no team wanted to play defense, including this. On 4th and 2, Jared Goff gets him into field goal range. Ballsy call by Dan Campbell. And then I kind of want to show the game-winning field goal. Look at this camera view. It's just like adding insult to injury if you're a Chargers fan. Chargers can't win late games, and it keeps on continuing. But we don't have time to dwell on that game because we have to talk about the Bengals, who were down by 10 to the Texans. All right, Texans, except for this play because Joe Burrow throws it deep to Jamar Chase on kind of a broken play. So going to the fourth, only down by 3, but then C.J. Stroud's like, nope, no thank you. Up by 10 now, the Bengals are driving down, and not only does Joe Burrow throw one interception, they drive back down after stopping Houston, and Joe Burrow throws another just costly interception on this kind of play where you're trying to do too much. Yeah, dude, you could have just settled for a field goal. But C.J. Stroud to the rescue. I don't know what he saw on this play. He's been playing great all season, but I don't know what he saw. And the Bengals are inside their 5 now. They score, and the Texans get it back, and throwing it on third down, not a great choice. The Bengals have 2 minutes, and they get all of it on one play. Like, Tyler Boyd just put it onto the Jets. No, just kidding, I sped the video up. But they get it inside the 10, and then a nice seam pass by, oh no, Boyd. Oh no, boy. Oh man, going from good to bad. And so the Bengals settle for the field goal. And then Tank Dell is like, you know what? I'll take your drop and I'll do the same thing. But CJ Stroud doesn't let that bother him at all. He keeps on driving down the field. And then a broken tackle right at the goal for the field goal. And the Texans had a backup kicker, not their ideal kicker, and that gets them closer. So now it's only a 38-yard field goal. And the Texans win, so that's kind of interesting, but not as interesting as the next game. The Ravens are blowing people out, even in this game, up 24-9, but Lamar Jackson takes back-to-back sacks, kind of taking them out of field goal range. So now, starting off the fourth quarter, they switch sides up to punt, and the Browns are just being the Browns. They muff it, touchdown, Ravens, but Sean Watson's like, you know what? I'm not having any of this. They come back, and then Sean Watson, just nice flip to the end zone. So now it's only a touchdown game, and it's a pick 6 by Greg Newsome. So now the game is tied, except for the fact that the Browns missed the extra point. Yeah, so now they need to score again, but Sean Watson does it again. This play, he gains 20 yards on a scramble. So now they're just about field goal range, and then on a different play, they do a tush push, getting them even closer, and then Cade York is no longer their kicker. Never mind, Dustin Hopkins gets a game-winning field goal for them. But that's not as interesting as this game. You have the Vikings versus Saints. Dobbs, man, up 27-3, but Derek Carr gets hurt. Enter Jameis Winston, who enters and starts slinging it. Chris Olave, and he's just It's like Recklin the Bandits, Jameis Winston. He doesn't care about the numbers, I guess. He's just like, I'm just going to keep on throwing it deep. The Vikings miss a field goal, so now it's still a 2-possession game. Jameis Winston converts on this critical 4th down where he could have just ran it, but he gets even more yards. Then this is the most Jameis play I've ever seen. Throwing it across his body, across the field. Touchdown. They get the 2 points, so now it's 27-19. Jameis Winston is going to win this game. Oh, well, never mind.